Hello friends, today we will learn about neural basis of sleep. Most sleep research conducted in a sleep laboratory attaches electrodes to measure EEG, EMG, EOG like this. EOG is electrooculogram to measure eye movements and EMG is electromyogram to measure muscular activity like this. Now EEG stage and awake. Alpha activity when someone is awake. Alpha activity smooth electrical activity of 8 to 12 Hz recorded from the brain state of relaxation. Beta activity irregular electrical activity of 13 to 30 Hz recorded from the brain state of arousal. Stage 1 sleep transition between sleep and wakefulness. Theta activity, that is EEG activity of 3.5 to 7.5 Hz that occurs intermittently during early stages of slow wave sleep and REM sleep. EEG stages. Stage 2 sleep. EEG is generally regular but contains periods of theta activity, sleep spindles, and K complexes. Some experiments believe that sleep spindles represent the activity of a mechanism that is involved in keeping a person asleep. Stage 3 and 4 sleep, that is delta activity. Delta activity, that is regular synchronous electrical activity of less than 4 Hz recorded from the brain, occurs during the deepest stage of slow wave sleep. REM sleep. REM sleep is a period of desynchronized EEG activity during sleep, at which time dreaming, deep eye movements, and muscular paralysis occur. Dreaming during this stage tend to be narrative in form. Stages 1 to 4 referred to as non-REM sleep. Stages 3-4 referred to as slow wave sleep. During rest of the night, subject will alternate between periods of non-REM sleep and REM sleep, each cycle about 90 minutes long, containing 20 to 30 minutes of REM sleep. Let's know about biological clock. What do you mean by biological clock? We will know about all related things. Okay, first point is chronobiology. Let's know about chronobiology. Chronobiology encompasses many fields in the biological science which ultimately concerned with the study of biological rhythms and the biological clocks that are responsible for the generation of these rhythms. Let's know about biological clock details. Biological clocks exist as endogenous rhythms of fairly intense activity and usually follow a circadian cycle, that is 24 hours. The phytochrome system functions to mark a dark or light period, but it apparently does not provide a measure of its duration. The two mechanisms may function together to enable the plant to detect the actual time spent in light and darkness. The rhythmicity of biological clocks seems to arise from alterations of membrane permeability. Characteristics may be due to either alterations in protein structure or alternatively changes in the concentration or characteristics of the phospholipids of the membrane. The phytochromes in either of their alternative structures may alter the set point of the clock by changing the characteristics of the cell membrane. Thus, photoperiodicity may ultimately be regulated at the level of the cell membrane. Circadian rhythms are maintained by the biological clock A biological clock resides within the cells of all eukaryotes and some prokaryotes. The major outward manifests of this clock are known as circadian rhythms, from the Latin circa, about, dies. Circa means about and dies means day. Circadian rhythms can characterize in two ways. The period is the length of one cycle and the amplitude is the magnitude of the change over the course of a cycle. The circadian rhythms have some important characteristics. Point 1 is the period is insensitive to temperature, although lowering the temperature may reduce the temperature of the rhythmic effect. Circadian rhythms are highly persistent, that they may continue for days even in an environment in which there are no light dark periods. Circadian rhythms can be entrained within limits by light dark cycles that differ from 24 hours. A brief exposure to light can shift the peak of the cycle. It can cause a phase shift. The resetting of the circadian rhythm by environmental cues is called entrainment. Circadian rhythms or biological rhythms can be characterized in two ways and by amplitudes. In mammals, the master circadian clock is located in two tiny groups of cells just above the optic chiasma, the place where the two optic nerves cross. These structures are called the suprachiasmatic nuclei. If a mammal's SCN are destroyed, it loses circadian rhythmicity. The retina of eyes is classical photoreceptors and contains photoresponsive retina ganglion cells. These cells contain a photopigment called melanopsis, follow a pathway called the retinohypothalamic tract leading to SCN. It is interesting to note that if cells from SCN are removed and cultured, they maintain their own rhythm in the absence of external cues. It appears that the SCN takes the information on day length from the retina, interprets it, and passes it onto the pineal gland, which then secretes the hormone melatonin in response. Secretion of the melatonin peaks at night and ebbs during the daytime. Circadian rhythms are found in every animal group as well as in protists, plants and fungi, and only vertebrates have SCN, that is suprachiasmatic nucleus. In most non-mammals, the master clock contains photoreceptors that directly sense changes in light and synchronize behavior. Genetics of circadian rhythms. Let's know about genetics of circadian rhythms. A gene called period, that is PER, was discovered in fruit flies. Mutations of this gene can cause flies to have either short or long free-running circadian periods. Mutations of circadian gene timeless cause a loss of circadian rhythms in fruit flies. Let's know some points. The PER and TIM proteins, TIM proteins dimerize in the cytoplasm and resulting heterodimer enters the nucleus where it inhibits transcription of the PAR and TIM genes. The PAR or TIM heterodimer does this by blocking a heterodimer of two other clock genes, that is clock and cycle CYC, that promotes for PAR and TIM transcription. This molecular negative feedback loop is just one of several such loops in the circadian clock of a fruit fly. Circadian and clock associated 1, CCA1, and LHY, that is late elongated hypocotyle, that encode closely related MYB transcription factors that regulate circadian rhythms in Arabidopsis. When CCA1, that is circadian and clock associated 1, and LHY, late elongated hypocotyle, are overexpressed when under constant light or dark condition, plant becomes rhythmically, and mRNA signals reduce, contributing a negative feedback loop. CCA1 and LHY expression oscillates and peaks in every morning, while TOC1 oscillates and peaks in early evening. From past observations and studies, it is hypothesized that these three components model a negative feedback loop in which overexpressed CCA1 and LHY repress TOC1 and overexpressed TOC1 is a positive regulator CCA1 and LHY. In the mollusk bulla, for example, the cells driving circadian rhythms are in the eyes. Birds do have SCN, but the master clock of at least some species resides in the pineal gland, a mass of tissue between the cerebral hemisphere that produces the hormone melatonin. If the pineal gland of a bird is removed, the bird loses its circadian rhythms. Development of behavior. Behavior refers to all external recognizable changes that bring about communication and can release behavior pattern in other animals. There are two types of behavior, that is innate and learned. Innate behavior, inherited and programmed by genes, highly stereotyped, and these are comprised of four categories: kinesis, taxis, A, reflex, and FAP, that is fixed action pattern. Kinesis. Kinesis means change the speed of random movement in response to environmental stimulus, and taxis means a directed movement towards or away from a stimulus, positive and negative taxis. And reflex means movement of a body part in response to stimulus. Fixed action pattern means stereotyped and often complex series of movements, responses to a specific stimulus releases. Once initiated, FAPs continue to completion. Characteristic of innate behavior. Point 1 is the behavior is performed without prior experience. Second point is there is a stereotypic releaser stimulus. Third point is breeder crosses produce hybrid behaviors. Fourth point is the behavior is adaptive. Science and natural selection is at work. According to George Barrow, in 1968, most patterns of behavior are not as stereotyped as suggested by the idea of the FAP. Most FAPs cannot easily be separated into fixed and orientation components. He suggested the term modal action pattern, MAP. Instincts means the perception of something in the environment triggers a reaction in a center in the central nervous system that then cause the performance of instinctive act, sometimes composed of very stereotyped movements. A male European robin in breeding condition will attack a tuft of red feathers placed in his territory. The scratching movement of dogs as well as many other vertebrates are considered fixed action patterns. Learned behavior. Let's know about learned behavior. When animal modifies its behavior in the light of experience which not passes to next generation are called learned behavior. It is comprised of 5 categories. Imprinting. Imprinting Imprinting is learning that is limited to a specific time period in an animal's life and that is generally irreversible. For example, young dogs are greased following their mother having have the imprint of their mother because she was the first moving organism visible to them. The outside world provides the imprinting stimulus, something to which the response will be directed. Habituation. Habituation is in a sense learning not to respond to a stimulus. The first time an animal encounters a stimulus, it may respond vigorously, but if the stimulus is presented over and over without consequence, the response to it gradually lessens and may finally disappear altogether. For example, Hydra contracts when disturbed by a slight touch. It stops responding. Maturation is the change in behavior because of ongoing developmental changes in neuromuscular systems. Let's know about conditioning. Conditioning means laboratory setting. Classical conditioning. It is a conditioning is of two types: classical conditioning and the operant conditioning. First of all is classical conditioning. The response to a normal stimulus comes to be elicited by a substitute stimulus. Classical conditioning was first described by the famous Russian biologist Ivan Pavlov. And the second point is operant conditioning. Conditioning means in operant conditioning, the reinforcement follows the behavioral response. In other words, the animals must be something. In the 1930s, psychologist B.F. Skinner demonstrated operant conditioning by employing a device now called a Skinner box. E.I. Thorndike was a pioneer in research on what was called trial and error learning, now usually called operant conditioning. Let's know about observational learning. Many vertebrates learn by observing the behavior of others. Example, song development in birds. Species that engage in play often have a highly social lifestyle. Play that stimulates tucking and attacking may allow animals to practice these behaviors. Insight. Insight learning, sometimes called reasoning or innovation, involves the ability to perform correctly in a novel situation. It is most often observed in mammals, especially primates. Learning is a change in behavior based on experience. Chimpanzees are highly social creatures that live in a complex, variable, and changing world. Intelligence is important under such circumstances. Courtship. It occurs in a prelude to mating and most common in vertebrates and insects. Most animals tend to view conspecific as threatening competitors to be driven off. Complex courtship interaction unique to each species assure that individuals are not a threat and that they are of the proper species, sex, and psychological matching condition. These complex rituals often consist of a series of flexed action patterns, each released in sequence by the reciprocal behavior of the other individual involved. This complex sequence is a chain of FFPs, each triggered by its own sign stimulus. A male stick, stickleback is reproductive condition may attack a female entering his territory. After mating with a male chases her away and defends his territory against other males. He entices 3 to 5 other females with his courtship routine. A male guards developing eyes from predators and fans water over them for aeration. The female's head up posture releases the male's zigzag dance, which releases the female's approach. The male returns, the male turns and swings to the nest, and enticing the female to follow. At the nest, he lies on his side, releasing the female to enter the nest, which releases to male to produce the female, causing her to release her eggs. She leaves nest, the male enters and fertilizes the egg. There are many deviations in the precise order of the events in stickleback courtship ritual. Some actions must be repeated several times if one partner is less motivated than the other. Despite some flexibility, the complex behavior do not occur randomly. In any display, a particular behavior is likely to be followed by certain actions done by others. Social communication. Let's know about social communication. Communication is the behavior that influences the actions of other individuals. It consists of displays or signals that can be perceived by other individuals and which convey information to them. Natural selection shapes, displays or signals into systems of communication if the transmission of information benefits both the sender and the receivers. The courtship displays of a male, for example, benefit the male if they attract females. The displays also benefit the female if they allow her to assess whether the male is of the right species and whether he is strong, vigorous, and has other attributes that will make him a good father. Molecules used for chemical communication between individual animals of the same species are called pheromones. Because of the diversity of their molecular structures, pheromones can communicate very specific messages that contain a great deal of information. The mate attraction pheromone of the female silkworm moth is a good example. Auditory communication. Auditory means sound. Sound auditory communication is fast and effective and can be easily modified, and non-human primates have at most 40 different vocalizations, each having a different meaning. Although chimpanzees can be taught to use an artificial language, they have progressed beyond the capability level of a 2-year-old child. Visual communication. Visual communication involves visual communication involves signals used by species active during the day. For example, defense and courtship displays are exaggerated and are always performed in the same way to their meaning is clear. Tactile communication occurs when one animal touches another. Honeybees use a combination of methods of communication, but especially tactile tactile ones to impart information about food, distance, and direction. Social behavior is defined as any kind of interaction between two or more animals, usually of the same species. Ranges of social behavior are aggression, courtship, cooperation, and deception. Complex behavior increases when interactions among individuals are considered. Social dominance. Social organization of a group depends on the total number of individuals, their age, sex ratio, which in turn depend on many factors like abundance, availability, dispersion of food, etc. Dominance hierarchy. A scientist called D. Wall contains that the male hierarchy is much more pronounced than in females, and that the males have coalition strategies. Female chimps are noticeably less social than males. Females are solitary and lack the social mechanism that allow tension control and must avoid conflict with each other. Dominance Dominance is determined by conflicts, grooming, and trading behavior, involving much more than a single agonistic encounter. Richard and Schulman in 1982 suggest that a hierarchy minimizes the risk of fighting, allowing subordinates to avoid injury and dominant individuals to avoid killing their relatives. The competition for food and females is not affected by dominance, but the need to defend the territory favors males and that attack the other males. A high social rank can increase a male's fitness by allowing more access to meat and mating. Let's know about intra-group aggression. Dewall explains that integration into a community consists of attraction, aggression, subordination to a senior member, and finally reconciliation and social acceptance. Males from the same community are rebels, even know to kill each other in captivity, and yet also friends. Contest between males usually last 2 to 3 months, and the winner avoids reconciliation until the loser submissively grunts. The distinction between agonistic and ritualized dominance is very pronounced because chimpanzees do not communication rank by agnostic means, but by grunting, bowing, and moving an arm over the other. Males are forced to cope with competition because they travel in bands and must have close ranks when facing violence from other territories. Females are more likely to be attacked by males than by other females, and may avoid the male spear altogether. However, as males rise in dominance, they provoke females less, and correspondingly, females counterattack less often against alpha males. Alpha male. Males groom in order to reduce tension and relax the atmosphere so they can share females in estrus. The highest grooming rate is among the highest ranking males, sometimes referred to as the triumvirate. The alpha male uses the meat as a political tool to reinforce alliances. About 30% of all meat is stolen by the alpha male. Males may give meat to stolen females in exchange for sex, and likewise, females have higher reproductive success upon receiving meat. Along the same lines, the female bows and grunts to take leaves from the alpha male. Agnostic behavior is a contest involving both submissive and threatening behavior, which determine which competitor gains access to some sources, whether it be food, mate, or territory. The kind of behavior normally includes a ritual. Ritual is the use of symbolic activity with no serious harm done to the other individual. Reconciliation behavior. Reconciliation behavior is when there is reconciliation after a conflict between two individuals. However, many animals remain in social groups maintained by agnostic behavior. Use of space and territoriality. Many animals exhibit territorial behavior. It is a form of social behavior that partitions resources. In ethology, the term territory refers to any sociographical area that an animal of a particular species consistently defends against conspicuous species. Animals that defend territories in this way are referred to as territorial. Territoriality can enhance fitness if the benefits of possessing a territory outweigh the energy cost of defending one. Territorial rights are proclaimed continually in a variety of ways. First one is auditory, second is scent markers, third is visual. Auditory means such a bird song or the calls of gibbons, the bellowing of sea lions and the chattering of squirrels. Scent markers means such as urine defecation in open areas, rubbing parts of the bodies that bear specialized scent glands against the substrate. And visual means as in the red breast of the robin. For example, dogs and other canids scent marked by urination and defecation, while cats scent marked by rubbing their faces and flanks against objects. Many pro-Simons use territorial marking. For example, the red-bellied lemur creates territories for groups of 2 to 10 individuals in the reinforced forest of eastern Madagascar by scent marking. The male diademed Sifaka also sent marks defended territories in some of these same rainforests. The male western fence lizard defends a territory by posturing and combat, but less intensely after the mating season. Let's know about mating system. We will discuss mating systems in next video. Thank you.